ozone. The ozone. The ozone. The ozone.
So one day, I decided to go out and check on my crops in my field, and all of a sudden I heard strange noises from all around. When I listened closely, I could just hear this deep thrumming sound, like some sort of mechanical machinery of some sort. Then, when I looked up to the sky, I saw these bright flashing lights all around, and I could hear all these robotronic noises like boop, 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 boop. I don't know what it was, so I decided to go back to the house, got my old man's shotgun, went back out to my fields. The next thing I knew, this giant red beam of light came straight down. The next thing I know, I feel like I was being pulled up to the sky, like a brand new nail attached to a magnet, just slowly getting magnetised, slowly up into the sky. I couldn't control it, I couldn't get out of it either, just taking me away like I was some sort of rag doll, no movements whatsoever.
The ozone. The ozone. The ozone. The ozone. Planet's Cookie Boo. Planet's Cookie Boo. Planet's Cookie Boo. Planet's Cookie Boo.
So these mysterious aliens that kidnapped me, they were in this control center of some sorts, and they seemed to be crowded in this the corner of the room. And so, as I managed to undo these bonds they've tied me in, I somehow walked over to this machine. And by what looks of it, it looks like a GPS navigational radar system.
Of course. Just like everyone's got.
And it says, warning, we are approaching planet. We are approaching a nearby planet. So, as I looked at this screen, I pressed all these buttons and they go and then it says, scanning planet for life forms. And when the planet name came up, the planet name was called
Planet's Cookie Boogie. Planet's Cookie Boogie. Planet's Cookie Boogie. Planet's Cookie Boogie.
we fell onto the ground of this weird planet, and it was all moist, and it kind of felt like you were squelching in mud and stuff, and until this weird creature came out of nowhere. It was, I think, roughly about 8 feet tall. It was all pink, and for some reason it had a head like a dog. And that's what really confused me. It had like a head like a dog. And I tried speaking to it, and
In American.
and I said, "Hello, what is your name?" And for some reason, it just looked to me, like just pierced my eyes straight with its stare, and it was like, "Oh, my eyes, they're bleeding!" No, that probably wouldn't happen. But it just looked at me, and it walked over and put out these great big hands. They look like giant pink sausages, and I just fist bumped him, and as you do, and then it started speaking in this weird voice, like, and I was like, okay, nice to meet you too. My name's Dan. How are you? I'm from a.
What's your second name, Dan?
My name's Dan Hankering. My parents' name.
Dan Hankering.
Leave me alone,
Dan Hankering, Space Voyager.
and when I told him my name, these aliens started laughing. I was thinking, if that's a laugh, I have no idea what they're laughing about. Is it my name? I mean, come on, it's just a regular name, Dan Hankering, just a regular, name. But as I told this weird pink alien my name, it somehow shook its head like it recognized the sound of my name for some reason. I don't know why.
Planet's Cookie Boogie. 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 Planet's Cookie Boogie.
As we left planet Kooky Boogoo, we went to this entire whole new solar system. And the solar system was called K934234. And as we entered this solar system, we found this. Didn't look like a planet. It was too big to be a planet. So I think it was some sort of moon, you know. So we landed on the moon's surface. It was really hard to see because this whole moon was just covered in lots of fog, and I bumped into this object. I don't know what it was. I think it was like some sort of like cactus-like plant, but it wasn't a cactus because it didn't have any of those pricks on them. It had like it was all smooth, like a freshly shaved leg. I don't know. It was really weird. So I leaned against it and I tried to catch my bearings because all this fog and mist was making me very lightheaded.
Moons off to the cool, mosquitoes flying around the room. Moons off to the cool, smooth cacti in the gloom.
I could see a dark figure in the mist. I was like, dang, it's kind of like a giant insect of some sort, like not like a spider, not like a fly, but like some sort of like cockroach kind of like insect. It came up to me, and I noticed on its back it had these really interesting patterns. It was like kind of like spirals of some sort. I started to speak to it, and in short, it wasn't very friendly. In short, it wasn't very friendly. He tried to eat me. So I kind of drop kicked it in his head. His head exploded.
Moons off to the cool, mosquitoes flying around the room. Moons off to the cool, smooth cacti in the gloom.
I decided to rip off one of its legs and trying to build a fire out of this smooth cactus-like thing, you know. And it was successful. I managed to break off its branches, rub them together really hard with all the friction, it caused a fire. And then I broke off another branch and decided to stick the leg on it and hold it over the fire and add a nice, lovely roasted cockfly leg. Oh, it was gorgeous. If you ask me, it tastes like Kentucky Fried Chicken, if you know what I'm saying. You know, like one of them spicy-ass hot wings. I kind of gathered up my steps, tried to find my way back to this ship, you know. I kept getting hit in the head by these like little weird fly things. I don't know what I think they weren't cockflies, because cockflies were a lot bigger. I think these things were called mosquitoes. You know, they're like half a mosquito, half a Cheeto. So I think they're called mosquitoes. And I decided to pick one out of the air and eat it, and nonetheless, they did actually taste a little bit like Cheetos. You know, it had that nice tangy, cheesy flavor. As I looked to the ship, I turned around and I started hearing like a rumbling sound on the ground, and I kind of knew what that sound was. It sounded like a stampede, and as I kind of looked through the fog, I saw millions and millions of cockflies stamping on their little legs, going. I was like, oh crap. I am doomed. So I hauled my ass back onto the ship.
The moon's out to be mosquitoes flying around the room. The moon's out to be smooth cacti in the gloom. Mosquitoes flying around the room. Moon's out to be cool. Smooth cacti in the gloom. It was a massive jungle. They called this jungle Tark-Nazarus. That's right, I said it. Tark-Nazarus. It was an adventurous place. There was lots of wild noises. So I ventured deep into the jungles of Tark-Nazarus. Here you can see the Tark-Nazarus, the local tribe. They're hiding in their jungle environments. Unfortunately, they didn't survive very long, as my so-called alien hosts decide to turn up 5 minutes later and, in a nice way, let's say they massacred every single last tribesman. No matter how good they were at camouflaging, these guys knew how to kill.
Question. What provoked the massacre?
I believe one of the tribesmen kind of intimidated, you know, they let out an intimidating war cry. I don't think the aliens were having none of it, so then they retaliated with these out of future tech weapons. Believe it or not, there were bulls on this planet.
Moon balls.
Yeah, moon bulls. And they produced what looked like orange milk.
Moon milk.
Yes, it was moon milk. As I like to call it, moon milk.
Talking Nazareth, rescue the moon cat. Well, my abductors caused a massacre, killed every native around. Talking Nazareth, in the midst of the carnage, I construct a bamboo carrier, grab liners and get out of town. Talking Nazareth, rescue the moon cat. Well, my abductors caused a massacre, killed every native around. Talking Nazareth, in the midst of the carnage, I construct a bamboo carrier, grab liners and get out of town.
Question. Did your alien abductors massacre the moon bulls?
Answer. Affirmative.
I mean, they seem perfectly placid, pleasant animals.
Well, believe it or not, they can milk themselves. They have hands.
Hey, so can I, buddy, so can I. But unbeknownst, is it true, Dan Hankering, that unbeknownst to everybody else, your conscience got the better of you? And while all these moon cows were getting massacred, you looked down on the floor and you saw a little moon calf on the floor. And you said, shh, come with me. And you grabbed the little moon calf and you put it in your pocket. And it was there in your pocket, milking itself for all it was worth. Keeping itself amused by milking itself vigorously. And you, so by the time you left this planet Tarkanazarus, you had in your pocket, you had in your possession a little tiny little moon calf. Can you please tell the listeners what the moon calf looked like?
It was green and yellow. She had these 5 green eyes. They were very they weren't, as you say, sparkly, but they were rather shiny, yes. And if you looked in their eyes closely, it feels like you can see a whole nother universe. But only if you look deep enough.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have been used to seeing a whole other universe, wouldn't you? It wouldn't mean as much to you, because you spend all your time in another universe. Don't you?
Pretty much, if you ask me. I think I've been everywhere now. But this little moon calf, I believe it was unique. It was special. It wasn't like its other kind. You see,
all its other kind had been massacred by now. Let's face it. It was the last of its species. The last moon calf.
I myself, I'm a farmer. I'm quite good with my hands, you see. So before I left the planet,
Can you milk yourself like the moon cows milk themselves? Is that part of your skill set?
I have been known to milk thyself on occasions.
Thyself.
I made it like a little
A mooncalf carrier.
yeah, it was a mooncalf carrier, kind of like a bamboo cage, like tied with straw, so I could take it home with me.
So did you give this mooncalf a name?
I did.
Question. What was its name?
Answer: Linus.
Linus.
I called it Linus Moonbeam.
Ah. Linus the mooncalf. Linus the mooncalf. Linus the mooncalf. I don't like him walking next to me. I always say, Linus, get behind us. Linus the mooncalf.
Talking Nazareth, rescue the moon cat. Well, my abductors caused a massacre, killed every native around. Talking Nazareth, in the midst of the carnage, I construct a bamboo carrier. Grab Linus and get out of town. Talking Nazareth, rescue the moon cat. Well, my abductors caused a massacre, killed every native around. Talking Nazareth, in the midst of the carnage, I construct a bamboo carrier. Grab Linus and get out of town.
So it's been about a year we've been stuck on this mysterious world, and I've been living amongst this indigenous species called the Banananons. They have showed me their ways. They have showed me their culture. They have shown me their reproduction rituals, which I must say are quite interesting and quite a lot different to what we humans do. But yes, so these indigenous people, the banana nuns, at first they looked like people, but in fact they were not people. They were gnomes. That's right, people. Dan Hankering has met a species of gnome people.
Were they really small or really tall gnomes?
They were really, well, not really tall, but they were average, like, I'd probably say 5'10",
How did you know they were gnomes then?
because they were made out of pottery. See, you got the banana nons, but then you also have the banana nons. These two tribes, they live on... One tribe lives on the top of the planet, the other tribe lives on the bottom of the planet.
What's the tribe called that lives at the top of the planet?
The tribe on the top of the planet are called the banana nons.
What's the tribe called that lives on the bottom of the planet?
The bottom planet tribe are called the banana nons.
The bottom. I think you should just call them the bottom planet tribe, to be honest. So the banana nons and the banana nons.
Two rival tribes have been going at it for years for control of the planet. Unfortunately, after I've been living there for a year, I've kind of noticed it's been pretty unpeaceful. It's basically like Afghanistan but on a planet.
What's the gravity like?
The gravity, I could say it's kind of like Earth, you know, very down to earth. But if you do jump, you can get to, how you say, a bit of air, as you young'uns say nowadays.
Hey?
You get quite a bit of air time. They do actually have very interesting home lives. They live in little teepees in trees.
In trees?
In trees.
So they're made of China,
They're made of China.
but they live in trees.
And they live in trees. So if they were to fall, they would end their untimely demise. The banana nuns.
Dwarves made of China, tumbling out of the trees. These things happen when you're amongst the banana nuns.
Banana fish. The tastiest fish on the planet. They look like a banana, but not quite a banana, because it had 12 legs.
What?
See, the banananae, they have legs, but they also have
I think you're
tails
talking
and-
banonsense, mate. Total banonsense.
What a load
Total-
of banolics.
Total babolics.
Banonics. But they have legs. They have 12 little legs like centipedes, but they have gills and fins as well. So they can either choose to walk or they can swim. How cool is that? Me, Dan Hankering, could not believe my eyes.
You think, so they look like bananas.
They do look like bananas.
And you think
yeah.
that's cool?
I think that's.
You think
I
that's
think that's
cool?
awesome.
I don't want to look like. I'm glad I don't look like a banana. I can choose whether to walk or swim, and I don't look like a banana.
Why so yellow, Mr. Mellow?
Are you saying a banana is cooler than me? Is that what you're saying?
It has 12 legs. 12 legs.
The more legs you've got, the cooler you are.
Yeah. See, a year ago, before we got crash landed here, we were approaching this planet. I didn't even think it was a planet. I thought it was just a giant ass space rock. I mean, don't get me wrong, we flew past Jupiter on our travels, and that was like big. And then we came to this planet.
Is it bigger than Kooky Boogoo?
It puts Kooky Boogoo to shame, my friend. This place. These indigenous people have taken me in as one of their own.
Say indigenous again.
These indigenous people have taken me in as one of their own.
Dwarves made of China, tumbling out of the trees. These things happen when you're amongst the banana gnomes. Cool bananas.
Is the whole planet a mall?
It is indeed. So wacky tackies.
He got a dark tube that is.
It's on the dark side of the moon. But no, it's everybody comes here. It's like it's a big ass meteorite. You probably couldn't miss it. It's right in the middle of the galaxy. Like everyone comes here. Like when we came in on the UFO, there was like so many cars, spaceships, and all sorts of things. Like it was really hard to find space, but we parked in the disabled because you see we got an animal on board. We got Linus.
He's your star pal.
Yeah, he's my intergalactic buddy.
Star pal.
My goddammit, from another planet. This place is like some sort of intergalactic social hub. This place was amazing. I mean, just when I thought the Mall of America was big, this place is like 10 times the size. I think when I looked up, it looked like there was about 15 floors, all full of shops and food courts and even a slaughterhouse, escape rooms, even toddler shops. We can buy prams.
Wait a second. So there's a slaughterhouse in the middle of the mall.
Yeah, you see, McDonald's and the slaughterhouse next door to each other because the slaughterhouse is where they take the moon cows and that's where they turn them into burgers, and that's when
Do not take Linus in there.
No, Linus is not going anywhere near that. So, believe it or not, there are actually humans who are serving this food.
What?
Real life humans, you know.
How come?
I don't know. Maybe they were abducted too. Maybe kidnapped, first to walk in this mall.
Did you speak to them?
I did, yeah. It says, howdy, my name's Dan Hankering. I'm from Earth. Where you from? And some of them said Mississippi, some of them said Massachusetts. And I said, how the hell did you end up working here? And says, well, you see, we can't really talk about it, but the owners who own this mall, they're kind of like slave traders, so we kind of got bought and forced to work here, so...
So when you lived on Earth, how close were you to Massachusetts and Mississippi?
I don't really know. I didn't take geography in school, so I don't know. I know I live in Texas.
It's the only place in the galaxy for some retail therapy. Head into the mall, it's a wacky tacky. Into the mall, it's a wacky tacky. They got alien base, human slaves, keep my stuff out far from the slaughterhouse. Wacky tacky. Intergalactic caravans in a cinema. Go see Rocket Man. Yeah. They got a whole lot of shopping going on.
So, the whole planet was a great big mall. People travelled for miles and miles. You travelled through the ozone.
The ozone.
We traveled through that. We traveled through many planets. I thought this could be pretty cool. You know, we could do with a shopping trip. You know, get some souvenirs from my peeps back home. Maybe for my me mom and my pa.
I don't want to alarm you, but you seem to be going under the assumption that you're eventually going to be back home again, and these aliens are going to return you.
So what you're trying to say is that once I'm no use to them, they're gonna kill me?
I think your accent might start to irritate them after a while.
Yeah, boss.
I don't know what darn tune you're talking about.
I know where Don Tootin' Tings is, you know.
It's the only place in the galaxy for some retail therapy. Head into the mall, it's a wacky tacky. Into the mall, it's a wacky tacky. They got alien base, human slaves, keep my stuff out far from the slaughterhouse. Wacky tacky. Intergalactic caravans in a cinema.
So, what kind of currency do they accept on Wacky Tacky? Do they accept all manner of galactic currency?
The highest amount of pricing you can get here is you can have yourself a fresh human. That's worth like about 10 million space credits.
Hang on a minute. Once you get yourself a what?
Once you get yourself a human, it's worth like 10 million space credits.
Wait a minute. But you're a human, worth about 10 million space credits, and you're walking around Wacky Tacky with Linus, holding his hand. I presume you're holding his hand. Why shouldn't somebody kidnap you and get 10 million space credits? Why are you walking around unharmed?
Because you can't, you see, there's rules here. You can't, kidnap customers in the mall. If you are going to have a human, it has to be obtained from an outside source, not on the planet. So, if you're like one of those slave traders or like human sex traders and stuff, let's just say on this planet you're gonna be a very rich man.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like Donald Trump or President Obama or Daddy Warbucks. You're gonna be like the richest man on this planet if you have a couple of humans with you.
Good answer.
Wacky Tacky.
This is the GPS navigational radar system. We have encountered what seems to be a gigantic disco ball. Shining and shimmering and lighting up the dark infinite space.
Will you meet me on Bungie and lead me back home through the ozone? Will you tell the truth from your empty booth and be my GPS? I will acquiesce. Help with my return through rings of Saturn. Will you meet me on Bungie?
So we landed on this giant disco ball of Bongigi. Me and Linus, we wandered this giant glowing dance floor, and there was loads of people dancing and drinking. But no, we found this great and powerful man. He was loitering in this VIP booth, and I told him he was just loitering in this booth.
I am a great and powerful man, and I shall loiter where I please. What's his name?
I don't know. He hasn't given me his name yet. That's why he's so mysterious. That's why he's only known by legend and not by name. He's only known by reputation.
All right, carry on.
So I approached this man. I asked him if do I have permission to enter your booth, sir?
You can enter me booth, love, if you buy me a drink.
And I said, all right, what you fancying, what takes your fancy? And he says,
Toilet duck and sangria with ice.
So I got him this drink, and he allowed me to enter his booth. And he says,
why don't you take a seat, love, and we'll discuss what's happening. I do warn you, I do charge for services, but if I do feel any sympathy for you, I might see if we can broker a deal, okay?
I told him I just want to take me and myself, well, I'm talking about me, myself and Linus back home, you know, back down in Texas, you know. And he says,
I can see what I can do. If it's in my power, I'll let you in. But first, you have to do something for me.
so I asked him what I could do, and he says he has this old flame of his that he met on a planet a few days ago, and he's come here and he's been stalking him. He's been stalking him, and he says,
Oh, you can find him right there. He's always on the dance floor near the Red Square.
Will you meet me on Bungeezy? Lead me back home through the ozone. Will you tell the truth from your empty booth and be my GPS? I will acquiesce, 'cause I am only free on the prairie. So help with my return through rings of Saturn. I won the dance off, I drank the Molotov. So will you meet me on Bungeezy?
as I walked up to this little creep, he said, I want to dance off me.
I knew you were going to say dance off.
He started flashing some moves. I'm like, right, you got yourself a battle, mate. So I started flashing, I started doing a bit of dabbing, started doing a bit of flossing, a bit of Orange Justice, a bit of hype, you know. And he said, where are you getting all these funky dance moves from?
Just describe flossing.
You know, flossing where you stand up and, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like the Backpack Kid off the Katy Perry show, you know. And he said, where are you getting all these funky dance moves from? You win. I'll take me leave, get in me spaceship, I'll bugger off and I won't come back here, okay? So I went back to this great and powerful man.
How can I ever repay you? I mean, I'll literally do anything.
So I replied, you know, I've been roaming space and I miss my home, I miss my bed, you know, I miss me Bud Lights, you know, drinking them in front of fire on porch. So we went outside, you know, like through back entrance, and we stood in the parking lot. He rubbed his hands together. I could see all this like cool like sparks and dust flying out of his fingers. And there was like these bright lights flashing and flickering, and then me and Linus, we closed our eyes. And then when we opened them, I was in my cornfield. I opened up my eyes, I'm like, whoa. Me and Linus, we walked through my cornfield, and I could see my farmhouse right in the distance there. Hell, Linus, here we are. This is your new home, buddy. This is where I live, good old Plainfolk, Texas.
we broke out some lovely malt whiskey, and we had a cigar on the porch, and the rocking chair allowed us just sat on the ground. But good news was, we're back home, we're safe and sound, and I said, that was one small step for man, one big ass space traveling time step for Dan Hankering. There's no place like home.
There's no place like space.
This is the GPS navigational radar system. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like space.